Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about Pisces season, which began on the 18th of February and will go until March 20th, when we have the sun then transitioning into the sign of Aries during that spring equinox. And that's going to be a very powerful day. Even though we have the sun in the sign of Aries, hitting 0 degrees of Aries on the equinox, we also have a conjunction of Mercury and Jupiter that day in the sign of Pisces. So that Pisces energy still really taking center stage in its own way. And it's going to continue to do so and going to continue to be extremely relevant as we move towards that massive conjunction of Neptune and Jupiter in the sign of Pisces on April 12th. That's really the pinnacle of this energy that we're going to be discussing today. And everything that we're experiencing as we move through Pisces season, it's really the process of preparing us for that energy and really working through some of the things that energy and that conjunction represents. And we are going to have a separate video on that conjunction specifically and everything that I've picked up on and come to understand around that specific astrological event. So we're not going to get into the specifics of that in this video, but we are going to talk about a lot of these Piscean energies that we are moving through and working through. This is going to be a very powerful and potent Pisces season. As like we said, we are warming up toward that conjunction. We have a powerful new moon in Pisces happening on the 2nd, the day before the 3-3 portal, you guys. And that conjunction, interestingly enough, is at 12 degrees of Pisces and it's happening conjunct Jupiter. And so we see an interesting connection here when we notice that we have that conjunction of Neptune and Jupiter on the 12th of April. And we have this new moon in Pisces conjunct Jupiter at 12 degrees of Pisces. So we see this number 12 cropping up again. And we've been talking about this consistently. We talked about it again in the 222 gateway video, which if you guys haven't seen, I strongly recommend that you do. This energy of the ones, the twos, and the zeros and the recoding of the matrix. And so we see once again these powerful events happening either at degree points in the sky or on dates that involve this number code, right? The ones, the twos. So it's powerful stuff, you guys. These are huge vibrational points, huge gateways of energy that are really coming in. We talked about this in, once again, that 222 gateway video. This understanding that this 2022 is the final year of this recoding of the matrix, right? That we are officially creating and building and finalizing that process of building the foundation and the basis of the new earth, of the new reality that we are stepping and moving into. So it is a powerful year. And we're going to see how a lot of these astrological events and these portals really assist us in this process of really building that firm foundation for the new earth. So, I wanted to make sure that we understood that connection with the 12 degrees and then April 12th, because I think it's really powerful. And conjunct Jupiter, no less. That new moon in Pisces is going to be huge. And I will have a separate video coming out on that as well. But not only do we have the sun and the moon conjunct Jupiter at 12 degrees, but we also have Venus, Pluto, and Mars in their triple conjunction at 27 degrees of Capricorn. And they will continue to be conjunct the next day for the 3-3 portal. And this is a massive energy that we've been talking about. I think I am going to do another video on it because we're going to have a video for the 3-3 portal. There's probably going to be a couple videos. I would imagine that Pete and I may do something on the Chosen 144 for the 3-3 portal energy as well. It's a huge energy, you guys. All right, so there's going to be more stuff on this. If you guys want a preliminary look at some of these energies, check out the Venus retrograde, Mars, Venus, Pluto triple conjunction video. It is in the Astrological Ascension Energies playlist. That's a mouthful right there. But this is big stuff, you guys. So this new moon in Pisces is like a nuclear blast of energy. Really setting the tone and, like we said, setting the stage as we move toward this big conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune. We also have Mercury entering Pisces on March 10th. So a lot of powerful energies that we are working with and playing with as we I almost said as we cruise through Pisces season. It might feel like that because the energy is really going to be on fast forward in a lot of ways. The energies in general right now, you guys, are on fast forward. Things are picking up speed at a greater and greater pace. And so it quite literally is going to seem like every day, every week, every month passes by in the flash of an eye. Right? Because we are moving out of linear time. We are moving into the now moments. And it's just things are shifting, things are changing. Time is moving differently as our whole perception of it is shifting and changing and evolving. So this Pisces energy, this Piscean energy, there's a lot of different elements to this energy. And we are in the process right now of clearing out some of the lower remnants of this energy. This Pisces season and that conjunction of Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces is really assisting in clearing the way, clearing out some of these old energies, these old outdated and lower vibratory energies of the age of Pisces. As you guys are all aware, we are moving out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius, and we're in an overlap point right now where we're in both ages at the same time. It's really interesting. And so this is a huge delineation point for the clearing of those energies. We are bringing with us, of course, all of the higher vibration energies of Pisces as we close out this age, but we're leaving behind those lower vibratory energies. And some of those lower vibratory energies that we're leaving behind have to do with victimhood. They have to do with giving away our power. They have to do with this feeling of helplessness and hopelessness and listlessness. They have to do with the misunderstanding the energy of sacrifice and overly sacrificing of the self. These are some of those major energies that we are working with, looking for power, looking for guidance outside of ourselves, right? Looking for spirit outside of ourselves. This is us returning to the realization that spirit exists right here. This energy is really seeking to reconnect us with our higher selves and to merge us with our higher selves on a much higher, in a much more profound way, I guess. The integration of that. And we see a huge integration point with that 3-3 portal and with those energies of Mars, Venus, and Pluto as well. Right? But it's this reconnection, this deeper merging with the higher self. With the higher self and with the higher self's will, right? We have our lower egoic human will, and then we have our higher spiritual will. And part of the goal of this process of incarnation is to merge those two together, where we become more aligned with our spirit's will. All right. And so we're going to see this process unfolding. We may feel some tension between the lower egoic desires and the higher desires of the soul. We're being asked during this Pisces season and leading up toward this conjunction to really look at and understand things from that higher spiritual perspective. We're being given that higher spiritual viewpoint, that ability to tap into that. Now, the thing that prevents us from tapping into that is when we get embroiled in these lower energies. And so we want to release these lower energies of victimhood, these lower energies of hopelessness, of detachment. And when we talk about detachment, we talk about unhealthy detachment, right? Because there are two different kinds of detachment. There's the kind that we strive for that allows us to be energetically sovereign. And there's also the kind of detachment that we feel as a complete lack of empathy and compassion, that we feel as complete disconnection and alienation, right? We don't want to be disconnected and alienated. We want to feel connected to the whole, but still be able to maintain our individual sovereignty. All right, that's what we're going for. That's that perfect blend of the Aquarius and the Piscean energies that we're learning as we are in this midway period between the closing and the opening of an age, right? Where we're learning how to merge those two, the understanding of those two energies together. And so let's see. You guys have to forgive me. Pregnancy brain. This happens to me a little bit anyways. It's getting a little bit worse. Getting back on track and staying on track here when we're talking about these energies. So we're merging more with our higher will, with our higher spiritual selves. We're seeing and understanding things from that higher and greater spiritual perspective. We're seeing and understanding each other, our connectedness, our unity, our oneness. But we're understanding how to experience that, like we said, while still being a sovereign being. We really want to work during Pisces season at not absorbing what's not ours. This energy's been coming up a lot lately in readings, and it's been coming up for a reason, especially starseeds and empaths, right? We tend to take on a lot of energies. We want to be really careful because there's a collective purge going on right now. Pisces energy is asking us to release everything that does not serve us. Okay, to let go, to surrender. And so there's a lot of releasing, a lot of detoxing that we may be experiencing during Pisces season and leading up to this conjunction on April 12th. So we want to be aware of that, and we want to make sure that we're not taking in what's not ours. It's the same as like when you take a salt bath for detox. You want to make sure that you are adding the correct ingredients like baking soda or baking powder that will help prevent the reuptake of the toxins. Because if you sit in that water for too long, you'll start reabsorbing everything that you've released. And so think about all of that stuff that the collective's releasing. And if you are absorbing, you don't want to be absorbing that. All right, so holding our energetic boundaries very strongly. This is also a time when we're in the process of overcoming addictions, right? Pisces energy can be prone to addictions and escapism because Pisces tends to be so mystical and in these playing in these higher spiritual realms, more connected to the higher spiritual realms than to this earthly experience. Sometimes the pressures of being part of this earthly experience, being dragged down into this energy, this 3D density energy is especially abrasive to Pisces energy. All right. And so that a lot of times what happens is that need to escape, right? Especially when we couple that with some of these other lower vibratory energies of victimhood, of helplessness, of hopelessness, right? Depression can easily set in. And so these are things that we may be revisiting. These are things that may be coming up for us. If we feel that desire to escape, we really want to look at that. And we've been talking about this for a little while now. Anyway, this energy of our crutches being removed currently, whatever it is that we turn to outside of ourselves in order to feel better within, whatever it is that we use to get through the day that distracts us and prevents us from having to focus on the things that we don't want to face or look at, right? Whatever takes us even slightly deviates us from our path and from our own self. Those things are being removed right now, whether we like it or not. And so during Pisces season, we may feel this strong urge to take our ego, our human ego will back and kind of dive back into those waters, so to speak. If we do so, it's likely to be a highly uncomfortable process. But of course, we all have that. We all have that option if that's what we so choose to do. But we're going to see the contrast. We're going to have the gift of contrast if that happens. That's a huge energy within 2022, right? We are in, the year is numerologically a 6 energy. But that energy of the 222 gateway, it didn't just close on 2/22/2022. We're closing out those energies all year long. All right, so there is an energy of contrast and duality that we are working with as well. And we're going to see that maybe magnified back to us in some ways during this season. There's a big energy of faith as well as we're working with the energy of Pisces, especially with Jupiter so involved here as well. And so this energy has to do with what do we have faith in? What do we believe in? It's understanding and reconciling the differences between religion and spirituality. Part of this releasing of the age of Pisces is the releasing of religion, right? The age of Pisces brought about a lot of religion and a lot of religious teachings. But now as we move to the end of that age and we're fine-tuning that energy, we're dissolving the energy. Remember, Pisces is a dissolving energy. We're dissolving the energy of religion and stepping more deeply into spirituality, into that higher spiritual truth. But we see that higher spiritual truth reflected in everything, including religion. I have a series of videos that I think I might start doing for you guys, looking into and digging into some of these religious texts and seeing the decoding, like the meaning behind them. Because if you look at a lot of stuff, I've been looking a lot with the book of Revelations lately. It's really fascinating to see how it tells the story of ascension. If you know how to read it, if you know what to look for, right? And that's true of everything right now. The truth is available for those who have eyes to see. right? And remember, we don't see with these eyes, we see with this one. 2 to look and 1 to see. And so just start opening yourself up to that. Start opening yourself up to the idea and the knowledge that truth is everywhere. Truth abounds. It's just, do you have the eyes to see it? Are you open to it? Are you willing to see? And I have a feeling that this Pisces season is going to show us some really powerful things if we are willing to see. So I want to start out with the Moonology manifestation cards for you guys today. And see, I say you guys, it's for all of us. These readings are just as much for me as they are for everyone else in this tribe when I do them. So for us, let's see, we're going to get some manifestation cards. Clear. This is a powerful gateway of creation energy as we move toward that triple conjunction as well. And so we really want to be aware of that. We want to be working with that energy. We want to be consciously aware of our creations. And this is something that Pete Sapper talks about on the Chosen 144. And it's so important to understand, right? When we are in that victim mentality, we're in that mentality of the unconscious creator. And we want to move into the energy of the conscious creator. We only do that by releasing victimhood. Which, as we have noted, is a huge theme of Pisces energy. So we want to be conscious creators here. Conscious cosmic creators. That is, Cosmic Creators is the name of the Facebook group. If you guys want to join that, there is a link in the description box below. Just another way for us all to be able to connect with each other. Support each other. All right, first card out here is last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude. And full moon in Taurus, detoxify. Yeah, so that detox energy that we recommended, going to be very powerful as we move through Pisces season. But this is also the way I'm feeling these cards too, is that gratitude is in and of itself going to be a detox for us as we're moving forward. We detox from that negativity. We detox from that victim mentality, right? By practicing gratitude. By saying, by acknowledging that everything in our universe is perfect. And this is something that Pete and I talked about and the live that we did for the 222 gateway. If you guys haven't checked that out as well, I'll link that and the 222 video in the description box below here. But definitely go ahead and check that out because there was some really good stuff that came up in that. He's just absolutely brilliant. You know, and it's this understanding that everything in our universe is perfect. It all happened perfectly, exactly how it was meant to. You know, and we talk about this concept all the time. When we talk about the fact that our soul came here to learn certain lessons, to have certain experiences. So no experience that we have is good or bad. It is exactly what we need in order to grow and move forward in the way that we chose to come here and grow and evolve. Right? So everything in my life is absolutely perfect. That energy of I chose it and I love it. Whatever it is. Be grateful for every single thing in your reality. And when you are grateful, when you realize that you chose everything so that you could experience it and learn and grow from it, you realize that there are no victims there and there are no perpetrators. There's nothing to be resentful about. There's nothing to have sour grapes over, right? Because it all evolved and happened exactly the way it was meant to. So be grateful for every experience. What you consider to be good, what you consider to be bad, and what you consider to be ugly. Because it's all actually beautiful and it's all helping you to evolve. So stay in that energy, stay in that attitude of gratitude as we move through Pisces season. This is also, right, when we get caught in that victim mentality, that's when we end up in that poor me energy, right? Pour me a drink. That's one of the things that they say in 12-step. In certain 12-step programs, right? That energy. We don't want to fall into that energy. That's like, you see how this energy builds on itself, right? How we then, because we're the victims, we need to be coddled and we deserve to escape. We deserve to, it's like we get into this energy of nursing our wounds, and that's not really good for anyone. We want to heal our wounds, right? We do want to attend to those wounds, but we don't want, it's not an energy of covering them up. It's an energy of really looking at what's there, why it's there, right? What's underneath that. And being grateful that if we have an experience that is digging up a wound so that we can get a better look at it, right? That's a beautiful thing. Being grateful for the wound in the first place because we chose that wound because it was here to teach us something. And we're going to be able to help other people. We're healing that wound collectively because we took that on, because we decided to experience that. But it's only a wound for as long as we allow it to be. Right? We can allow it to heal, and then it becomes a scar. And what do scars do? They are reminders of the wisdom that we hold. They remind us of the experience, but we're not in pain anymore. Right? All right, then we got last quarter moon in Leo. Lighten up. All right, so this is a reminder not to be too serious as we move through Pisces season. Right? To still allow ourselves to have a little fun. Right? To not get into that, like, in the spiritual dumps. That's what I wanted to say. Like, we want to maintain that hope. We want to maintain that joy. It really feels like hope. And so Spirit wants you to laugh. Spirit wants you to play. That's how you connect more with your higher self anyway, right? Because your higher self is joyful. Your higher self is bliss. And so in order to really tap into the energy of your higher self, like, you want to embrace this Leo energy. You want to embrace your inner child. You, like, these heavier energies are going to be coming up, right? And so as they do, as you're releasing them, like, you don't, there's going to be enough heaviness here available that we don't need to add anymore by hyper focusing on it, right? We can take some time to bring joy and light into our lives. This also feels to me like Spirit is letting us know in Pisces season, try to eat lighter, drink lots of water, just try to be lighter in general. If there's anything you want to do, right, this is also preparing for that equinox, right? Preparing for Aries season. So we can start that spring cleaning energy now as well, right? When it comes to the self. Do we need to detox our bodies? Do we need to detox our minds, our emotions? Where within us are we requiring a detox? Is there a physical detox that needs to happen in our outer world, right? This is that energy of surrender that we talk about with Pisces, that energy of letting go, of letting things dissolve. What is wanting to be let go within you? And you can do that in a light and gentle way. It doesn't have to. It's only a heavy process when we're resisting. All right, now we have the Gemini. First quarter moon in Gemini. Speak your world into being. I love that they have a card that says what we say on here all the time, right? And then we have full moon in Libra. Find a balance. And we have new moon in Pisces. There we go. Right there. Attuned to the divine. All right. The divine is going to be speaking to you very powerfully during Pisces season. Are you listening? Right? Allow yourself to be divinely guided toward that balance. Whatever that balance is that you seek, let Spirit guide you in the ways that you can achieve that balance. All right, so first of all, meditation is going to assist. Many people, I feel like there's a mental detox that's happening right now. And part of that mental detox includes meditation. That's how you're going to achieve that balance. So meditate. Take more time to tap into your soul and let your soul be your guide down the path. And remember that you are creating. And so pay attention to the words that you speak to yourself, to others, out loud. And start practicing speaking more of your truth out loud. Even if it's just to yourself. Start speaking more of your desires, your hopes, your dreams out loud. Even if it's you sitting in your bedroom speaking into the mirror, right? It doesn't matter how you do it. Just say it out loud. Use I am statements. Right? Really, you get to decide. You have that choice. And I love how you can see the butterflies in between these two souls here. That feels significant to me. This feels like a reunion of energies too, under the light of the full moon. Whether this is you reuniting with an aspect of your own soul or self or with another human being. If you are desiring that, call that into being. Speak that into being. There's a lot of powerful energies of reunions, of unions, right? Of souls. Unifying and merging with our own divine nature, with our own inner masculine and feminine. And unifying and connecting with others. Yeah. There's a lot of justice, I feel, with those scales as well. A lot of karmic justice being served right now. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? That's what's that quote that they say? Life's only a bitch if you are. And so it's that way with karma, right? Karma's only a bitch if you are. And so be kind. Pete and I love how a lot of stuff that we just talked about in the live that we did on the 222 Gateway is coming back up again. He talked about the boomerang, right? What you put out comes back. And we talked about how that the lag time in between is getting shorter and shorter. So what are you putting out? Remember, it is coming back to you. And this relates not only to karma, but also, like we said, to the intentions that we're speaking. The words that we're speaking, your words have so much power. Remember that, know that, own that, especially with that Jupiter-Mercury conjunction, right? It's going to be really expanding that on that spring equinox. It's going to be expanding that energy, the power of our words. The power of our minds is amplifying as well. Our energetic frequency is raising as we are becoming more energetically powerful. All aspects of us are. All right. So finding the balance, balancing this new sense of power that we have, balancing this new, what's the word that I'm looking for, as our energy becomes sharper and clearer and more defined, as it becomes bigger and brighter. How do we balance that? How do we balance that new sense of power and the ways that energy is coming back to us, right? The ways what that energy is creating. This is where it is, that energy of being the conscious creator. Attune to the divine and attune to your higher self in order to utilize, to wield that power well. This balance, once again, also relates to, like we were talking about, the human ego versus the higher will. The human will versus the higher will. Really tune into and connect to that higher will. Find that balance. In the original Moonology deck, one of the Pisces cards is balancing spirituality and practicality. And so there's that energy with the balance as well, balancing the material and the spiritual. We want to make sure that we're doing that. And our ultimate goal is to bring the spiritual into every aspect of the material, to know and understand, as the highest evolution of Taurus energy does, that the material is spiritual and vice versa. There is no distinction. There is no separation. There is no distinction or separation between anything, right? On the bottom of the deck here, we have first quarter moon in Taurus, release control. And cool your emotions under that full moon in Aries. Embrace the flow of life. Yeah. Take a reality check under that. We may receive some reality checks during Pisces season. And that could be a slap in the face for some, because in this Piscean energy, we're not really into reality, right? We're into what's behind reality, right? We're into that nothing is real energy. And so we sometimes do get caught up in illusions. So we want to make sure that we're not getting caught up in illusions. And if we are, that's where that contrast may come back in to show us that, give us a little dose of reality. As I was shuffling, be humble and reflect on your priorities came through. So we're being reminded to stay grounded. Right? Another energy aspect of that balance energy, right? Spirituality and practicality. So not getting so lost in the clouds that we lose sight of what's important in the here and now, right? That we become unpresent in our lives with other people. We want to stay fully rooted, grounded, and present, right? We want to take all of this higher spiritual knowledge and information, and we want to bring it into this reality, bring it into this realm, make it real, right? Bring those inspirations into reality, channel them into form. All right, I want to do some Intuit Oracle here. Clear. Let's get some energies for Pisces season here. Oh yes, these cards once again. How I love them, but how challenging they can be sometimes to shuffle and work with. Well worth it though, you guys. Well worth it. These decks are amazing. There was a reader that I used to watch all the time, and she used these cards a lot on her channel, and she never said what they were. And I was always waiting for her to drop the name of the deck. And I even went one day and I paused the video and took a screenshot when she was shuffling the deck to try to read it and figure out what it was called. And then, of course, I figured it out. I ordered the deck, and right afterwards, she started saying what it was, which was really funny. It's like, oh, now the mystery's been revealed. All right, tell us about Pisces season, you guys. By you guys, I mean all of these beautiful cards. Spirit, Source, Creator. Tell us about Pisces season. First card out is Pluto, the Great Revealer. So there's that energy again of breaking through illusion. This is the energy of transformation, renewal, surrender, awakening. Clearing the slate. Clearing and purging everything we've been talking about are keywords on this card. And then we also see that energy. This is the Judgment card. That's what it relates to. An 11 energy there. All right. So there is that karmic balancing that we're experiencing. And we are going to be receiving great gifts. Great karmic gifts are going to be coming through. Especially with that conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune. But we're being asked to start with a clean slate. And anything that is preventing that is going to be revealed to us. Anywhere where we've been where we have a blind spot, that is going to be revealed so that we can move forward, so we can start with this clean slate. So we can surrender and release what is there's like deep blocks, I feel, that are going to be revealed to us as we move through Pisces season. And that triple conjunction with Pluto, Mars, and Venus. That new moon in Jupiter. The new moon in Pisces. Yeah, this first week of March is going to be a big week, you guys. Then we got the element of water coming out. Artistic, emotional, fantasy, dreams. This is Neptune energy right here. Right? Piscean energy. Healing, compassion, intuition. Staying fluid. This is a reminder to stay fluid. This is also a reminder that the floodgates are going to be opening up for us during Pisces season. This means our emotions opening up for that deep emotional purge. This means our intuition and our psychic abilities really reaching a climax as we develop, like we said, that deeper connection with our higher selves. And yes, with our divine feminine and masculine, of course, right? We've got that balancing. So we got the bellows coming out with Neptune, ruler of enlightenment. All right? Which is perfect, as we know. So there's some sort of catalyst. Something is sparked. Something is kindled. And it's our intuition again. But there may be a catalyst for something that happens, and that's card number 33. To really push us, 3333, right? 33 portal. That's the catalyst, right? So that energy, this really just emphasizing how big and important that energy is going to be during Pisces season. That catalyst that pushes us through the illusion, that reveals what we need to reveal and initiates the process that allows us to clear out what we need to clear out and release. That brings us a deeper state of enlightenment and really helps us to see things in a whole new way. From that higher, that's that higher perspective, right? Like we were talking about. Had the man on the bottom of the deck, interestingly enough. Divine Masculine. Yeah, and then we have the ring coming out with Saturn. So there's that energy of commitment. Deep commitments and alliances forming during this time. Partnerships. Contracts. The fulfillment of promises. That's what it feels like. The fulfillment of promises during Pisces season. So what did we agree to? And some of this could be before we even entered this lifetime. That's why that's one of the things that may be becoming clear for some people is soul contracts. What is your relationship to different people in your life? What is the contract there? Has it been completed or is it just beginning? What is your responsibility there? Have you accomplished that? Yeah, so we're making deep commitments during this time. We're honoring soul contracts. We're getting a deeper understanding of soul contracts and of the cycles in our lives. And completing, part of the ring actually says cycle. And there's completion of cycles here, right? So we're completing some major cycles, not just, we're talking about one aspect of a deeper layer of the completion of the greater cycle of the age of Pisces, right? But we're also talking about cycles within our lives. We talked about this in the 222 gateway, which as we said, is occurring. We're closing out and working with these energies throughout 2022. It's a year-long energy. It's not just a month long or a day, right? And so, a lot of closing out of cycles, a lot of understanding of, like we said, soul contracts and alliances, building and creating new alliances, seeing the truth within alliances, right? What's really here? Is there substance? Is there not? Is there growth? Is there not? Is there mutual support? Is there not? Really coming to understand those things more deeply. And as a result, committing to the things that matter and releasing the things that do not. Making commitments to anything in our lives that holds importance to us. Committing to our higher selves will. Right? That's what it feels like more than anything here. And yes, for some, this could be marriage and partnership, right? We've been feeling that energy coming through. We talked about that reunion of souls energy. We got the light bulb, the sun, the fireworks, and the Virgo card, all right, which is the Hermit. Ruling planet Mercury, and on the bottom of the deck we got the Phoenix. So it doesn't get more clear than this, you guys. What is this? The light bulb and the sun. This is illumination, right? There's just major clarity coming through for people during Pisces season, which is not always. It's so funny because it's known as a time of illusion, right? But we're seeing right through these illusions during Pisces season. We're having these powerful breakthroughs and aha moments, right? Once again, we got the Divine Masculine with the sun. So powerful Divine Masculine energy coming through here. But there's just this energy here. These huge, these powerful breakthroughs. And I am feeling the release of pride, the release of guilt, the release of shame. Really just a floodgate of energies releasing within us that have really been holding us back. And this is also, that is the detox and cleansing process that brings us more deeply, connects us more deeply to our higher selves, to our intuition, to our gifts and abilities, and allows us to move more powerfully down our path, toward the path of our Dharma, toward success and fulfillment. There's like huge vitality coming through here. It's really interesting. And then we have the fireworks. This is passion. This is chemistry, celebration, exhilaration. And then with this, I'm feeling she represents the hermit, right? Virgo. So that's that energy of illumination and spiritual awakening as well. So it's like a deep level of awakening that's happening for us. But once again, Virgo energy is very devoted to service, right? Very hardworking and conscientious. So once again, we have this energy here where we are making those deep commitments. We are, we're being asked to follow through, but we're wanting to do this. And we're following through on our commitment to higher service. How are we serving the self in a way that serves the greater whole? Right? How are we all connected? How are we taking control of our own growth and development for the betterment of all? And really seeing and understanding that connection. What I do for me, I do for you. Right? What I do for you, I do for me. We're all connected. We're all in this together. There's like a deeper understanding of that and an understanding of our spiritual responsibility, but in a way that doesn't feel heavy. It's liberating. It's freeing. It's exciting. Yeah, there's just a lot of powerful, like fireworks, right? This card, it's perfect. And yes, there is a lot of sexual connection and energy associated with that card as well. But this goes beyond that, right? It goes beyond that, but we can relate it to that, right? Because what is that energy? That orgasmic energy of creation, right? So this is like Pisces season is all about the orgasmic creation. The creation through enlightenment, through illumination and understanding, through connection with our higher selves. This deep transformation as we are transformed into a higher version of ourselves. Rising above, transition, higher self. The eagle. The eagle and the phoenix there. I love it. Yeah, and what's on the bottom of the deck now? Princess of Water, Pisces. The moon. And the rabbit, new beginnings. Stork, transformation, renewal. All right. And then the ether, the element of spirit, which is all about the soul spark, the higher self, which is the key to everything, right? This higher self, this connection with the higher, greater spiritual self. Trusting in that divine timing. There's a lot of energy of divine timing in Pisces season and leading up to that powerful conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune, all right? The key is the solution. It's all there. The alchemy to what it is we're creating, right? We are unlocking the keys. We are finding the medicine. We are taking the medicine during Pisces season. And it's really taken us some places, you guys. All right, we could keep sifting through this deck, but I think what I want to read is actually in honor of Pisces season. We're going to go with the Oracle of the Mermaids. And we're going to pull a closing card from the Oracle of the Mermaids for Pisces season. Here. I love it, you guys. This is really great. These are powerful energies. This is exciting. I'm really excited for us. Ooh, okay, here we go. So the card that we got is card number 22, right? In that 2-2 year, like we were talking about, divine sensuality, making love, erotica. So that energy of fireworks, they wanted to make sure that we didn't miss that. And that we didn't misinterpret that. So we're going to see what this divine sexuality, what this energy is all about here. Sensuality, excuse me. All right. Let's see. Yes, the mermaids are protectors and champions of sexuality and freedom, allure and power. To experience physical bliss is not a purely physical event. There is an intimate connection that connects people who make love or kiss or even just shake hands, who touch. And when we exchange this great intimacy with another, there is established between us a strong energetic connection. And it's so interesting because I've started watching this show. It's called 9 Perfect Strangers. A really interesting show, by the way. And in that show, one of the counselors, they're at like this spiritual resort, I guess you might say, this wellness resort, this very highly unusual wellness resort. And one of the counselors, she takes this woman's hand as she's standing on a cliff, presumably, possibly considering jumping. She holds her hand and she talks to her about the power of holding hands and how you can feel another person's soul through their hand, and how some people consider the act of holding hands to be more intimate than the act of making love. And it made me think about Reiki, and it made me think about the chakras we have in the palms of our hands. All the sensory information that we pick up on through our hands. And how many of us, of course, on here have healing hands. And just the power of that hand-to-hand connection. So that's interesting that feels like it's being brought back up as we're reading this right now. They talk about the power of a hug, but we don't necessarily always talk about the power of holding a hand. And let's see here. But there is, hold on. I got off track here. So it is wise to consider who we make love with and when and where and very much why. But there is also an undercurrent in our culture that still sees lovemaking, sensuality, and the love of the pleasure of the body, and the celebration and elevation of that pleasure to an act as something that is laden and twisted with guilt. The tainted sexual beliefs of the medieval era, which led to a hatred of the body, of sexuality, and a demonization of women, are still with us in some ways. Even the sexualization of our bodies undermines our ability to make love, to pleasure ourselves, and to enjoy this great pleasure and joy that has been gifted to us. The mermaid has come to be a symbol of the temptress, a woman who wishes to draw men and lovers to her, and in many ways she is the symbol of danger. And so it is with our sensuality. If you have drawn this card, it is likely you are ready to explore and dive into your own physical expression of bliss. It may be through making love with a cared for other, achieving greater intimacy in your relationships, or even experiencing blissful sensual moments while receiving a massage or dancing. But this card encourages you to reconnect with the love of your natural physicality, and to explore the pleasure your sensuality can bring you, and to begin to understand and untangle any of the lingering cultural or personal guilt you may have about this. There are many beliefs in our culture, many taboos too, that women who enjoy sexual feelings and evoke them in others are impure, courting danger, threatening to themselves and to other women, and dangerous to men. But the truth is, we all have a seductress within us, a mermaid-like being who dwells within our psyche and subconscious, who is able to show us how to pleasure ourselves and others, and how healing the sacred sensuality is and can be. So that's really powerful, and this is a huge aspect of that triple conjunction and that 3-3 portal energy of Pluto, Venus, and Mars, right? Because we are clearing out, and we talk about this in the Venus retrograde video, so I highly recommend you guys check that out if this is resonating for you. We're clearing out a lot of those old karmic templates between the ways that masculine and feminine energy has been distorted and expressed, and how sexuality has been usurped, right? How it has been twisted into something bad, something taboo, something wrong, right? And we've been made to feel guilt and shame around how we express that. So we're really reclaiming our sexual power. That's a huge aspect of this energy that's really coming to a pinnacle or a climax with that conjunction of Mars, Venus, and Pluto. So this card is in perfect timing, as everything is. So explore your divine sensuality throughout Pisces season as well, as we build up to that 3-3 portal and beyond, right? Allow yourself with the year, with the North Node in Taurus, that Taurus and Scorpio energy. North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio. We also talked about this from that angle. This energy of purifying and reclaiming our sexuality, what that means to us. And really knowing and understanding there's a clearing available here as well. For those who still hold the imprints of people that they've had intimate sexual relations with, that are no longer necessary. When we merge, and this is why it's so important to take care of who we choose to be with in a physical union. all right? Because we take on their energy. We merge. It's not just our bodies that are merging. Our souls, our energies are merging as well. And so who are you merging with? Who have you merged with in the past? Because unless you've cleared those energies, you still carry those within you. And that's one of the reasons, right? Why they say when you sleep with someone, you sleep with everyone they've ever been with. If they're holding that energy, that happens on an energetic level. And so we want to be really conscious of that. We're being given an opportunity to clear that. We're being given an opportunity to clear all the shame that we've been taught to feel around sexuality, especially women. Women have been taught, it said it in the reading, to be ashamed of our sexuality, it's an interesting thing, especially in Western culture, right? Because on the one hand, women and sexuality is objectified. But on the other hand, even though women are objectified, we're also shamed and told that we're not meant to be sexual. You see the conundrum there. It's quite a puzzle, right? And so it's fascinating and it's interesting to see the evolutions of these energies and to see all the different ways that we've been taught that expressing our sexuality is wrong, right? And all of the imprints. And then all of the ways that our sexuality has been abused, our sexual power has been taken from us. Yes, a lot of this is very true for the feminine energy. It's true for the masculine energy as well in different ways. All right. And so we want to explore all of those ways. And we want to know that even if you identify as masculine and you have male parts, we'll say, right? You hold feminine energy within you. So these energies where the feminine has been disempowered, where feminine sexuality has been twisted, right? And made to be something bad and ugly. You hold the wounds of that within you, within your own feminine energy, even if you identify as a male. All right, you have that within you. Just like those of us who are feminine have the energies of the masculine. Masculine sexuality has also been very twisted and tainted, right? We've been given these roles to play. And so this energy is all about breaking out of those roles, right? And healing that divide of those energies within ourselves and within the world. The ways our masculine and feminine energies relate to each other. And how that plays itself out with these sexual energies and the expression of these energies. And the connection that we have to our own personal experience of our sexual energy as well as our masculine and feminine energies. So there's a lot here, you guys. There's a lot here to unravel. There's a lot here to sift through. But there's a beautiful liberating energy here. If we're able to really tap into, to reclaim that energy, to cleanse and purify that energy, to reclaim it as ours, and to get rid of all that guilt and all that shame, right? To get rid of all that guilt and all that shame. And our feminine and masculine carry this guilt and shame, right? To get rid of that, to raise that to a higher frequency and to really have fun with ourselves again, right? To have fun embracing our sexuality, our sensuality in a new way. What are the ways that you can tap into that? What are the ways that you can feel sensual, right? That you can feel desirable, not to others. Yes, to others, sure, but to yourself. First and foremost, right? We always bring it back to the self. All right. Big stuff, you guys. Big stuff. And then sisterhood on the bottom of the deck, which is all about friendship, allies, compatible souls, loyalty, joy, and delight. So this is the soul tribe. This is that energy of calling and connecting with your soul tribe. And I do feel that we are going to connect more deeply with our soul tribe, both in the physical as well as in the astral realms. I feel a lot of astral union and communication during this Pisces season. A lot of premonition, but a lot of drawing in of these kindred spirits and these people who are meant to be a part of our path, especially when it comes to our divine spiritual mission. And remember, everyone that we meet, helps us, assists us on our divine spiritual mission. Because even the painful relationships, this is once again having that energy of gratitude, right? Even those painful relationships teach us something and help us to grow, help to cultivate and shape us into the people we need to be in order to fulfill our mission. Right, but these are people more directly aligned with our soul mission, that have similar missions, that share similar visions. That's that Age of Aquarius energy coming in. All right. And water flight under that, and this is heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, weightlessness. So this is what we're experiencing after that purge, that detox. We are going to come out of Pisces season so much lighter and more enlightened, right? Is it any coincidence that enlightenment contains the word light? And we don't just mean the rays and the information, although we do mean that, right? We also mean because we're light as a feather, right? Enlightenment. I like that. In order to be enlightened, we must release all the heaviness that weighs us down. And then, of course, be open to those downloads and all of that information. So a lot of different interesting things that we can play into the word enlightenment. All right, we could keep going all day, but we are going to wrap this up. I love you. I appreciate you all. If you liked this video, hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and let me know. There are links to donate if you feel so moved to donate to the channel in the description box below. I think I mentioned a few videos, so I'm going to link a few videos in the description box for you guys. What else am I going to do, or what else do you need to know? We will be doing a new moon ceremony. That information is also in the description box. My email is also down there with a list of the different services that I offer. I offer a lot of different things. I offer personal readings. I offer really powerful energy healings. I offer astrology readings. Lots of different stuff. So if you are interested or intrigued, reach out to me and we can set something up. I love you guys. You're amazing. Have a beautiful Pisces season.